Hi, I'm Cliff, and today I'm going to show you how to do cross-file analysis with the table in LabChart Lightning. The table in LabChart Lightning is a flexible tool, and this is because you can analyse your data from different recordings in just one place. This gives you the power to do cross-file analysis without actually having to export your data. For today's demo, we're going to analyse data from 11 recordings of non-invasive blood pressure in humans. We will use data sampled during a wall sit exercise to calculate baroreflex sensitivity. This is one of our 11 recordings. There are 6 signals of sampled data, and today we'll be working with systolic pressure and interbeat interval, IBI for short. I'm going to drag the IBI signal so that it's in the same channel as systolic pressure. Now I'll maximise this channel so that we can see some really interesting data. There are 2 annotations here. These mark the start and end of the wall sit exercise. This is the data we want to analyse, so I'll create a wall sit region. I'll also create a baseline region. Opening the table view, we can see data for 2 regions. We can also see that the mean systolic pressure is higher during the wall sit than during the baseline. We can also use groups to categorise our data. Checking the properties for this recording, we can see that it's in the female group, and so the data is under the female heading in the table. As we create more regions in our other 10 recordings, that data will also be categorised. This is our second recording, and I'll follow the same steps as before, moving the IBI signal and creating regions. You can see that the 2 regions are automatically added to the table and we have begun cross-file analysis. The table has automatically calculated the mean across our 2 different recordings. After following the same steps on our other 9 recordings, you can see all the data now in the table. You can see that the subjects are now split into female and male groups, and the mean is calculated for each group. So our goal is to calculate baroreflex sensitivity. To find this, I need to know the change in systolic pressure and interbeat interval. I can calculate this by adding more columns to the table, and when I select end value minus start value, you can see the data appear in the table. So we expect the change in interbeat interval to be negative, but here we see a large positive value for subject 2. So let's click on the table cell and then navigate to the source region. That region is now displayed in chart view, and we can see a few unwanted artifacts. Let's move to the start of the region so that this bad data is not included. And now we can see that the table has updated automatically and is now showing a negative change in IBI. Now that we have our relevant data in the table, let's calculate baroreflex sensitivity. Opening the table view properties allows us to create a calculated column. I'll label this BRS. I can use the calculation editor to select data from the table. I'll calculate baroreflex sensitivity using the change in interbeat interval divided by the change in systolic pressure. Now this is a simplistic way to calculate baroreflex sensitivity, but enough for our hypothetical study. We can now see the baroreflex sensitivity for each subject and the mean across our 2 groups. You can add other cross-file calculations using the table view properties. These are called summary calculations. As more data is added to the table, you may need more space. You can hide data to reduce clutter, and you can also close the chart view to create even more space. Our 11 recordings also include bicep curl exercises. I've added regions for the bicep curl data so you can see it in the table. It's easy to add any data to the table. There are still many more ways to expand your analysis. Today we've analysed sampled data, but you can also create calculated signals and include them in your regions so that they also appear for analysis in the table. Cross-file analysis is available now in LabChart Lightning. If you have any questions or feedback, please get in touch and we'd love to hear from you.